closing arguments, believe, happened today in the federal lawsuit. And you know, my prediction is they're going to get hammered. The county's going to get hammered in this.
Do you think they're going to get all relief, like requested relief granted, which I think is like everybody gets a nonviolent misdemeanor PR bond? Is that what?
Probably. I mean, I think they're going to get hammered.
I agree with Jimmy.
I really do. And that might be the result, but I think they are going to lose on this big time. In terms of whether or not the felony judges are going to face a similar lawsuit, I'm not sure. Maybe depending on how this injunction reads, and what I'm sure that what will happen is the lawyers involved in this case will take a look at it, figure out, you know, what the injunction says, and they might take another stab at the felony level bond schedule. I don't know. I'll
say at the felony level, $50,000 for a murder is great. I mean, in other counties, they hit them with $1 million.
Yeah.
$2 million. Yeah. At the felony level, I'm all right with keeping a, you know, $50,000 bond for a murder. What I don't like is the drug offenses. So they double the street value. So if you have some street value, or
well, I mean,
you know,
yeah, well, that's the crazy thing. So if you have either a drug crime or a financial crime, they double the value.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if you have a drug crime, they take what, as you said, is the street value of the cocaine or whatever, and they basically come up with their own number and they double it. Mm-hmm. And same thing in a financial case. So if you're charged with stealing $100,000, you're going to get probably a $200,000 bond, if not more. Mm-hmm. They basically double the amount of the alleged fraud or theft or the street value of the drugs. So that's what's crazy. And this is the difficult part. You can explain to somebody who's sitting in jail on a nonviolent offense with and the worst part is if they charge you with 5 separate counts of stealing $100,000,
you get a $200,000 bond, you get $1 million.
You get $1 million in bonds, okay?
Right.
For a nonviolent offense. Yet somebody who kills someone, even though they, you know, haven't been proven guilty of it yet, they'll be out on a $50,000 bond, and you're still jammed up on a $1 million bond, and you haven't hurt a soul. Okay, and that's a real difficult. It used to be the same thing when you could still get deferred for murder.
Yeah.
Recall when you could still get deferred for murder, and you're having to explain you're having to explain to your clients on DWIs why, well, that guy can get deferred for murder, but you can't get deferred for a misdemeanor DWI.
Well, you know, and I think JV, and I agree with you, Jimmy. I think they're going to get hammered. I think there's a difference between a misdemeanor and felony offense, and there's no reason for some of these egregious bonds on misdemeanor cases. Right. And that is just wrong.
Like a $50,000 bond on a misdemeanor.
Yes, and I've seen it
Which happens.
I've seen it.
Or no bond.
Or no bond on a misdemeanor. That is ridiculous.
I don't think you can legally have a no bond on a misdemeanor.
Well, you can't until the defense lawyer gets on there to look at it. Yeah.
Right, but I mean, I don't
It happens.
Right, you
really?
can't.
Because I got this in this debate where somebody tried to move for a no bond, and actually even in Court 11, Judge Bull said, we can't do a no bond.
Well, just recently on the vet and the medical school dropout / doctor practicing, state moved for a no bond on the guy.
Yeah.
And it was in Judge Bull's court.
And got it?
I think it was.
Was it Paul Morgan?
Yeah, Paul Morgan came in, said, Judge, they can't no bond this guy.
Yeah.
Someone was in for Judge Bull, Judge Ross, I believe. I don't want to misspeak. But they said, yeah, sorry, it's a misdemeanor. I'm giving him a bond. I'm going to give him a high bond, but I'm going to give him
the highest you can go is like 50 grand.
Yeah, and I think he gave him 50 grand.
Yeah.
But I think the logic, JV and Jimmy, of the injunction, if granted, which I suspect it will be, will preclude you having $1 million bond on a felony case. Because if you're indigent and you can't afford $1 million bond, that is the same as a no bond. And you know that. And so if the court, if a magistrate in a PC court is taking into account your ability to pay a bond and your financial resources and says a guy making 30 grand a year can afford $1 million bond, the district court is going to open themselves up to a federal lawsuit because that doesn't make sense either.
It doesn't.
I'm with you, JV. I like the bail schedule in the sense that I know what I'm going to get with my clients. I can kind of tell somebody who's in custody, okay, you got no priors or you got blank, you're charged with blank, here's what your bond's going to be. But at the same time, I don't like that it doesn't, it's just like kind of an arbitrary number. and it doesn't really mean much. And when you have a client who really can't afford the $5,000 cash component of a PR bond, then whether it's $5,000 or $50,000 or $30,000 or $100,000, it's really a no bond.
Might as well be a million.
It is a no bond. And so I think they're going to be hammered. I think the district courts do not want the same press as the county courts, right? Nobody wants that. And they especially don't want to lose. I mean, they don't want to go to federal court and spend all that money and lose. That will cost the state more money because there's 22 district judges. And at the same time, I think because the district courts are state level and not county level,
right,
that will open the state up to lawsuits across the board. So now you have federal suits going on in Harris County, which apply to Fort Bend and Brazoria. And so I think for those all reasons, you know what I mean, they're going to knuckle down.